What's going on, guys? And welcome to Monday night. This is the start of the 16th week of investing here on our channel, where we're putting $50 every Monday through Friday into the market and building our dividend portfolio. I'm going to make this video a little bit differently than I normally would because there's a new button on my video creator tool, and it says make a video with AI. So we're going to see what happens here. We're going to throw something together, and hopefully it looks awesome. But first, we're going to go through our channel tracker. We're going to take a look there, and then we're going to take a look at Seeking Alpha. But right now, things are looking pretty good in the portfolio. So let's dive right into it, and let's see what's going on. All right, so first things first, before we dive into the channel tracker, yeah, that didn't work at all. I tried to use the AI thing, and it just kept showing transitions. I guess I just talked too long with nothing happening, so it didn't know what to do with that. I just threw in a shimmy shack because, why not? You gotta try. So anywho, here we are, the channel tracker, guys. This is where we basically keep track of the channel. Simple enough. But today it is April 17th. Again, it's Monday night. So I did weigh myself this morning. We are actually at about the same weight that we were when we stopped weighing ourselves. So that's actually pretty good. I don't know if anyone's gone to Disney World, but there's a lot of food, and I did okay. I didn't really gain anything, so that's good. So we're 287.8 pounds. That's where I'm currently at. Obviously, it's not where we want to be, but I'm glad again that we didn't fly off the handle, so that's good. Weight lost. We have lost 10.9 pounds. So that's pretty cool. Again, we didn't fly off the handles. That means I can sustain the same weight without really trying that hard. So that's actually kind of motivating for me to get back in the gym. I did go the other day. It felt pretty good. Was there for 2.5 hours. Tomorrow I will not be working, so I will be at the gym. So that's pretty good. Investment balance. Guys, we are at $4,193.84. So we started this thing, recently this year. It's adding up pretty quick. I'm just going to kind of scroll up. If we look through these balances, guys, we were down here. Now we're up here. I'm not a wealth manager, credit counselor, financial advisor. I'm just a guy talking and ranting about his life in a big triangle shaped room here, but it's been pretty cool, and hopefully you guys find motivation following along. But really, we're here for the dividends. Total dividends earned, we're up to $35.06, guys. That's a good amount of change. I mean, that's not change, that's money. And for starting a dividend portfolio so quickly to see legitimate dividend income, it's pretty awesome. Our total growth, we are only down $120.55 now. So that's pretty good. It's kind of funny though, because if you look at the end of March, really all of this comes from our dividends. So, basically we haven't really made any money in the portfolio, which is fine. I'm okay with that. The market's kind of all over the place. But if you look at these numbers and then you just, for total growth, the dividends are getting better, which is why the total growth is getting better. So kind of fun, or just an observation I made today. Total YouTube income. So again, we have not yet been paid by YouTube, but we did make $100 from people signing up for Sofi. If you guys want to find somewhere to invest, Sofi, there's a link down in the description. It's pretty easy. If you start a new investing account with at least $10, they give you $25 of free stock. So if you're looking for a place to start up, it's in the link. Total subscribers. So we have jumped to 1,754 subscribers. To all the new subscribers and old, thank you guys. I do have a dream now of maybe one day this could be my job, which would be pretty cool. And you'd get, better videos with better transitions and, maybe even the AI. I don't know. But, a lot of that is from kind of showing stuff that I like outside of finance. Like, it's kind of fun that the channel is really about, three things. It's happiness, health, and wealth. So we have the wealth building with these videos where we're tracking everything, as the week goes on with the stocks and the investing and stuff. We have going to the gym and working on fitness stuff. And then happiness, just random overall stuff like going to Disney World or getting Pokemon cards and working through my collection there. So, it's been fun to see how like different aspects of my life some people find cool. And, I appreciate all you guys kind of sticking with me through that. So it's pretty fun. I feel like I've found 1,700 people like me. That's kind of what I feel like. Like, that's what it feels like as I make the videos. Whenever I grab a new sub and then I'll see that like they'll watch like 2-3 videos. It's just kind of cool to see that. Total views. So we are at 186,651 total views. So again, thanks guys. I appreciate you like the content. And our total watch hours, we're at 3,698.3 watch hours. So once we get to 4,000, that's where YouTube starts paying us. So that's the goal. That's what we're tracking. I'm pretty excited. We're pretty close to 200,000 views, which is not like a big milestone, but it's it's a cool moment, like for sure. So yeah, I think the real milestone's like 250,000 views because that's 250,000. It just feels like a better number, but it's basically what's going on with the channel. Now, let's take a look at the stocks and what's going on there. All right, so this is Seeking Alpha. This is how we follow the portfolio. Up here, you'll see today's gains. We're doing well with the gains. I always love to see this too. Today's gain 0.65%. And then you look at the Dow, you look at the S&P 500, you look at the NASDAQ. We beat it today, so that's good. But anywho, where we're at, right? I have everything sorted by value. And just to put some reference to these numbers, for these stocks down here, right? So $3.99 and below. We have put $385 into each one of these stocks. Okay, so $85 into each one of these stocks. Oh, $85, $385 into each one of these stocks. Oh my god, I need bed rest. At least I'm not yawning. I feel like I yawn a lot. Now that I've said it, I'm gonna yawn. So we have, yeah, that's it. So normally we have $385 into these from putting $5 a day into them. For SEHD and Realty Income Corporation, these two up here, we put $10 a day. So we have $770 into each one of these. Okay. So with that said, just having a little context of where we're at. So SEHD leading the way in total value, which makes sense because we put the most money into it. Oh my god. We have put the most money into it. So we've got 10.23 shares. Price of this is $73.92. It's kind of like bouncing up and down within the couple dollar range. For dividend yield of 3.24. Again, that's kind of staying the same. And that really is what it is. It's down year to date, and so are we. Ticker symbol O, or Realty Income Corporation. This is one of my favorites in all my portfolios because they do pay a monthly dividend. So the point of this portfolio is to, build up our dividends so that we can retire early in the next like 10 or so years, just off of the payments of the dividends without having to rely on selling stocks or anything like that. We have 11.88 shares. They just took the snapshot for the dividend and paid it out recently, which was good, or a couple days ago. I look forward to the next one. But this forward dividend yield, because the price keeps coming down on Realty Income, is now at 5.04%. So that's pretty strong. It just means that every $10 that I'm spending at this price point. So when we're paying $61.56. For every $10 that I put in, I'm going to make 50 cents a year in dividend payouts. And this is a stock that's grown its dividend payout every year for the past 26 years. Really, really strong. Unlike my ability to not yawn now that I've mentioned the yawning. Oh my goodness. So, God. But yeah, they've grown their payout every year for the past 26 years. So again, if I know that for every $10 that I put in at the price of $61.50, I will be earning 50 cents a year for the rest of my life. And then further and further and further. That's great news for me. And you, if you invested in it. JetQ. So JetQ is our wild outlier. We are not investing daily into this. This is a fund that's not even a year old. I said from the beginning, hey, I want to watch this and see how it does. What better place than to do it publicly? And I very much wish that I was putting money into this every day because it is off to the races. This thing is doing fantastically well. We have $413.48. That's 9.19 shares. The price is now $44.97, right? So it's just cranking all the time. Forward yield is 12.13%, which is nuts because it's not even a year old. So it has more time this year to grow its forward dividend yield. Excuse me. Yeah, they're a monthly payer. So being a monthly payer, not being a year old, means this number is going to keep increasing. Yeah, it's nuts. Don't fear this dividend years of growth. It's been around for 0 years, so it couldn't have had a year of growth yet. That's why that looks like that. Year-to-date performance up 10.05%. That is bonkers. So yeah, that's doing pretty well. Now, all of these from Pepsi and down, we are putting $5 a day into, and Pepsi is leading the charge. We have $399.67 here. Total shares 2.17, and the price is all the way up to 184.45. So we have some good price growth there, which is great. 2.51% dividend yield right now. Unfortunately, when the stock goes up, the dividend yield goes down unless they announce a new dividend. But that's fine. I like it anyway. We bought a lot of it pretty cheap, which is why we're so up on it. So that's good. They have grown their dividend for the past 50 years every year. And year to date, now we're up 1.58%. So we're finally seeing some growth for Pepsi as a whole, which is good. Procter & Gamble, right there with Pepsi. So $3.9875. That's 2.64 shares at $151.05. Again, they're cranking too. You can see it in our numbers. That's why we have so much of it, or that's why this is so much ahead of this. But dividend yield, very, very similar to Pepsi, guys. So we're at 2.49%, as opposed to Pepsi's 2.51. So right in line with one another. It is good to see that snapshots coming up of how much Procter & Gamble will earn when they pay out their dividend next month. So good to see a Procter & Gamble dividend. Again, they have also raised their dividend every year for the past 60 years. These two stocks, both Pepsi and Procter & Gamble, are what are called dividend kings. Big players in the S&P 500 paying out dividends and increasing their dividends every year over the past 50 years. Pepsi is now one of those dividend kings as of this year. So if you hear people say things like dividend kings and dividend aristocrats and dividend contenders and all these phrases that are out there, these are two of them. And the two that I like because I understand the products. I actually like Pepsi. I like Doritos and Mountain Dew and the products that they make. And then Procter & Gamble, like you flip over half of the random stuff in your house, it says Procter & Gamble on it. That's easy for me to understand. So I put them both in the portfolio for that reason, and they're leading the charge. Next, we have ticker symbol T. That is AT&T. We have $392.46. That's 19.83 shares at 19.79 per share. That is so confusing to look at. But that's okay. So AT&T, guys, this is like bounced back so strong, which is fantastic. The dividend yield's now only 5.57%, which is not as exciting as what it looked like a couple of weeks ago. But I love to get paid a good dividend. I really jinxed myself with the yawning today. It's worse than it's ever been. So we are getting paid out a dividend on May 1st, so that will kick off our month, and might potentially take AT&T into this Pepsi and Procter and Gamble fight. So that'd be pretty cool to see. But look at this growth, guys. Year to date, up 8.26%. AT&T just crushing it this year, which is awesome. JEPI. So JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. I like to consider JEPI to be the older brother of JEPQ. Okay. They're both run by the same guy, basically. They're both the same company. They're both by JP Morgan. JEPI's just been around for 2 years instead of no years. So a lot more stability. You'll see a lot of this on YouTube, people talking about how great JEPI is. So I don't need to jump on that train. But we have 7.09 shares of it in this portfolio. We have $54.90 and a forward dividend yield of 9.75%. Again, that's a monthly payer, guys. So this is a great income source for us, or a quick, pump of growth to the portfolio. And that's also up now. We're up 0.53%. So that's killer. BlackRock, like a phoenix from the ashes. We are $381.95. Guys, this is why I love dollar cost average investing, because if you pick something you believe in and you stick with it and you just don't deviate, you usually end up okay. And we were buying BlackRock for a steal. So we have 0.55 shares, which is depressing. I really can't wait for this to be a full share, because then I'll just feel like such a better, more legitimate investor. But we're 0.55 shares. The price is now up to $698.36. That skyrocketed, guys. And I guess it makes sense because it's very, it's very expensive per share. But so the dividend yields come all the way back down to 2.89. I think it was at 3.15 like a week ago, based on the price. But big dividend, they did pay their dividend early. I'm glad that we got our dividend payout while the shares were still lower, because that just means it went so much further. They've increased their dividend over the past 13 years, which is awesome. And they're only down now 2.44%. I'm just going to, we'll go over MPW, and then we'll hop into BlackRock and take a look at this chart. It's awesome. And speaking of awesome charts, we have MPW kind of doing the same thing. Obviously, it's a little slower to uptick, and that's fine, guys. But we have $321.52 of MPW now. That's 37.69 shares at $8.53 a share. For dividend yield down to 14.01%. If you guys remember, this was at 16%, right? So great to see this kind of normalizing out. I would like this to be roughly in that 9% range. That's that $12-13 price point for MPW, because that's when we started buying it. I think it has a potential to go way higher than that, but it's going to take some time. They just paid out their dividend while the stock was down, so that's awesome. I love that. I was so happy that happened like that. They have increased their dividend every year for the past 10 years. And right now, year-to-date performance, we are only down 25.67%. We were down 32% if you watch past videos. Today's gain was 3.02%. This is making some pretty big moves, guys. But first, let's pop into the BlackRock chart, and then we'll look at the MPW chart. So here we have BlackRock. We're just going to look at the 1 month here. I mean, starting the month, March 17th, 1 month ago, at 627.09. Wow, I didn't even look at this. That is awesome. So very, very steady, little ups and downs. I mean, it's the stock market, is what it is. But look at this just trajectory here. Tapped over 703, tapped 697, tapped 698, and now we're back at 698, guys. This thing, it's positioned to move, I think. And this is coming, look at it. That's 11.13% gain. That's awesome. In 1 month, that's huge. So all this that we were buying back here, I mean, what a deal. If I look at the year-to-date chart, guys, look at this roller coaster. So, we were buying it at 657, then it dropped to 757. Then it dropped to 729. It's up at 770, and then it just plummets. With the dollar cost averaging, when you buy a certain amount every single day, guys, look, we're still buying it. We're buying it on the way down. We bought it at 625. Now we have the luxury of buying it on the way up. So as much as this chunk hurt, right, this whole until March 13th, that was a brutal time buying a stock, watching it come down. But I know that the end game is in sight, and that the game is to keep on investing in something that I believe in, and I believe in BlackRock. So now, because I kept investing, we had 3 months of losses, and now it's all evened out with 1 month of gains. See how that works? Now, if it goes back up to this 770 number, we're going to look like complete studs. And like this kid knows what he's doing. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just a random guy in this office talking about nonsense. Not a credit counselor, wealth manager, financial advisor. All right. So that's BlackRock. Similar thing, not as triumphant, but still a similar thing. We got MPW up here. Let's close this. Guys, look at this year-to-date chart. Now, kind of similar, right? Totally different story. Okay, completely different story. But we are seeing the market trend kind of follow the same way. So what was that date? March 17th? That would have been here. Okay, so March 17th was the bottom. It wasn't quite the bottom here. Here, the bottom was March 23rd. But we have 3 months of failure followed up by 1 month of slight growth. Where was this month? Yeah, so 6.49% this month. If we look from here, 722 to 853. Yeah, that's more than 10%. So that's good. So yeah, that's really in a similar boat where, who knows, maybe this catches up with BlackRock. It could very well happen. Our cost basis on this, I think our average cost per share is like $10 at this point. Because if we look at the year to date, it was $13 at the beginning. So we own it somewhere around like $10 per share. But again, once this rebounds, which I personally think that it will, even though it's 19.37% shorted, look at this. You get strong buy versus strong sell at the same time. Nobody knows what to make of this stock. They don't even know, and they're not trading stocks in a triangle-shaped room like I am, so who knows? But that's pretty much what's going on with the portfolio. All right, guys. So with that said, just good growth all the way around. Good to get back in the gym. Feeling great. Weight wasn't as out of control as I thought it was going to be. And we got some pretty sweet Pokemon cards, so that was cool. But that's pretty much what's going on. Again, guys, just thanks for sticking with me as the channel grows and, kind of experimenting with different content. But I've been having a great time. Hopefully you are too. Big dividends getting paid out. Hopefully we're seeing some solid dividends here. As you can see in our tracker and everything, we are But yeah, just keep plugging along and we'll see what happens. With that, I wish you all happiness, health, and wealth. And as always, roll the outro.